Hey everyone, it's Andrea from Summit Valley Soap. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. Today, this is the second video that previews our upcoming holiday and winter soaps. I'm gonna start this one as usual with our oils and lye water. I'm using Cranberry Orange Fragrance Oil from Nature's Garden. I'm gonna take the lye water, add it to the oils, and we'll start blending this up. This soap is going to be a one-pot wonder technique, and this is my first time attempting it. I will be dividing this batter into 4 equal parts. So right now, I just want to lightly blend it, get it only to emulsification. I've never used this fragrance before, so I'm hoping it doesn't accelerate, as I would like to keep this batter nice and fluid. So it looks like we've got it blended. And this is my little trick here for dividing batter. I have multiple of these white pour pitchers. So I'll take my scale, I'll put an empty pitcher on it, zero it out, and then I'll weigh all the contents. And in this case, divide it by 4. In each pitcher, I already have my micas ready to go. This orange is Pumpkinhead by Mad Micas. And I'll blend these up once I get everything poured. Like I said, it's a cranberry orange fragrance. So gonna do a red and a green. I'll leave one kind of natural cream colored, and then I threw the orange in there for the nod to the fragrance oil. This is the True Red kit from Mad Mike. As you can see, there's multiple tones of red in there. You add 3 different colors and it ends up with this really lovely True Red. The green is also Mad Micas, and that one is Envy. I'm gonna blend these up mainly by hand. I'm trying to keep the trace light. So I'm walking that fine line of getting the micas well dispersed, yet keeping the batter nice and fluid. And this one was a bit of a tightrope walk. In fact, in hindsight, I do think this one accelerates. And so if I use this fragrance again, which I probably will because it smells lovely, I'm definitely gonna do a less intricate design. Get our orange mixed up here. And now we'll get the green. And you'll be able to see here in just a second that this is getting up to a fairly thick trace, probably really just a medium trace, but I like to keep things really fluid. So at this point, I am worried a little bit that this isn't gonna work out. You can see it tracing there on the top, and it's thicker than I would like. So with One Pot Wonder, I'm gonna pour all of these in here. I'm gonna start with the red, and when this pours, it'll be the opposite. That red will end up on top. And if you take a peek over here on the side where I've poured, you can see it kind of piling up, and that's a pretty thick trace. I'm gonna add some titanium dioxide to this batter that doesn't have any mica in it yet. I'm not gonna make it super white. My aesthetic is kind of rustic, so I usually go with more cream color, but of course, if you wanted to try to replicate this design, you could always add more and make it more of a crisp white. Pour this in on the side, and now this completely covered the red, which all the other videos I've watched on One Pot Wonder, that is not what happens. So again, as this is happening right about now, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what is this even gonna look like? Here goes the green. Now it did kind of push the batter aside, and this is more of what I'll typically see when other people use this technique. And finally, here's our orange. And it does the same thing. It goes into the pot like I expect it to. But again, you can really see how thick this batter is. And buckle up. I mean, we're just gonna have to see how this works. Now I am putting the lid of my mold underneath it so that I can have this at an angle. And then I am just gonna pour back and forth, letting it go down the sides. And we'll just have to see how it turns out. It poured a lot easier than I thought it would. And now I'm just kind of scraping out all the last little bits, making a mess as usual. And I kind of like how the top looks. You've got a little bit of green poking through, of course lots of red, and then some of that off-white kind of cream color. I'll tap this out, get those bubbles out of there, get the batter into every corner of the mold, and then it is already nice and thick, so I'm going to come in here and do a little swirl. And it's going to be nice and textured. Now I usually oven process my soap, and I did start this one out in the oven, but I was keeping a close eye on it, and it did start to crack. So I ended up taking it out and putting it in the refrigerator. So I will say this fragrance oil definitely accelerates, and if I use it in the future, I'm gonna put it immediately into the refrigerator. It does smell great though. You have that orange and that cranberry, and there's a very heavy kind of cinnamony spicy scent. It smells really lovely, like a wonderful holiday, like wassail or cider. So it looks pretty neat on the side there. I am going to just take the very ends of this loaf off, and then I'm going to use a technique that Terry at Tree Marie Soapworks uses a lot. This mold is only right at 10 inches. And I want to get 10 bars out of it. So if I use my cutter to do the typical 1-inch bars, I'm only going to get 9 and then some leftover, and the 9-inch bars will be really big and heavy. So I take this and I turn it on the side, starting over here in the left corner at 1 and ending at 10 on that right corner. And then I can mark 10 equidistant bars that are a little less than 1 inch each. And now I'm just scoring the top so that I can easily line this up with my wire cutter. Terry from Tree Marie Soapworks does a whole video about why you should or can measure on the angle, and she can explain it a lot better than I can, but it's really come in handy for me. So I appreciate her advice. Whoa, okay, so that was a surprise. That really looks like a lot of the one-pot wonders I have seen out there. So despite all the issues with the batter and all of my worry, it actually turned out pretty cool. I don't know that I'll do a lot of one-pot wonder in the future, but it was good to try. And like I said, I am amused and surprised that this turned out so well. It's definitely an interesting bar of soap, and I know you can't smell it, but I can, and it really is lovely. Of course, now I'm going to go through and bevel all these edges, clean everything up, make it nice and neat. Anytime something doesn't go to plan, it always makes you nervous. But lately, I've had good luck, and even things that didn't go the way I wanted ended up pretty nice. These bars will be available in November. I sell on Etsy on summitvalleysoap.etsy.com. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can see any content in the future. And I also share a lot of content on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day.